Uh, we'll basically get started on the presentation towards building careers in IPv6. In this presentation today, uh, basically we will look up at at an overview of IPv6, understand the broad components of IPv6, what is it that's driving IPv6 towards the industry adoption, the impact of IPv6 on the IT environment of an organization, and as much as it impacts an organization, what is it that would require from the organizational perspective or from the skill perspective to adopt IPv6 across an organization. And then basically we would look up at the need for building skills in the area of IPv6, and how is it that one can look up at this as a career option, wherein basically as organizations look forward to adopt IPv6, they do need engineers who are skilled in IPv6, and we will basically try to understand that part. And then basically as individuals look forward to build career over here, the career paths that one can adopt, and these would be in the area of networking, security, or system administration. And then as one takes up these particular courses, what are all the various internships and job opportunities available? And towards the end, as to why is it that you should choose Metrobyte as your training partner in this area. So what we would do is over the next few minutes, we'll work to basically cover all these topics and address your queries, questions, or other details. At any time, feel free to basically ask a query or a question, and we'll try to answer the same. IP version 6. I think most of you would have heard this term in general, and typically the first impression most of the folks in general carry is that IP version 4, IP version 6, it sounds similar to Windows 98, Windows 2000, wherein probably there are two more features added to IP version 4, and it has become an IP version 6. We will basically discover the fact whether is IP version 6 just a small feature enhancement to IPv4 or something more and beyond. Internet today called as TCP/IP, and the Internet Protocol version running up out of the TCP/IP is the Internet Protocol version 4. This Internet Protocol version 4 was created as a kind of an experimental protocol in the US Defense Labs, that's DARPA. And subsequently, we had that this particular Internet Protocol was used to connect to organizations, then to exchange basically basic files. Then it was used for exchanging emails, then exchanging messages, and then it basically moved on from just connecting to organizations to exchange information to a place where the Internet Protocol was slowly started being used for e-commerce transaction. And as we saw the internet help connect the world together, help share the information across the world, it also started connecting economies. And today we have internet economies and internet lives. And I don't think that there's a day when an individual can literally live without internet connectivity being available. Well, as this internet grew, and it resulted in a situation where the internet became a significant part of our lives. Every individual was in some way or the other using an IPv4 address, and today we have a population of 7 billion human beings, and the IPv4 address, which is 2 to the power of 32, is about 4 billion addresses. And what happened is that, so I think one thing we can see is that this 4 billion address space would never have sufficed the 7 billion population to begin with. And the second thing is that Asia, when the IPv4 address space was allocated, Asia was allocated a small percentage of it, and it resulted in the fact that as the internet grew, one of the first geographical regions which had the address space exhaustion was Asia. And in light of the same, I think today we see that there's a significant push towards the IPv6 adoption in Asia and also here in India. Well, as this happens, I think we all see opportunities in terms of consulting, implementation, training, and other areas. So let's see as to how does one benefit from the same for building a career here. As much as basically we know a bit about IPv6, the aspect that happened is in the year 1992. IETF realized that the IPv4 address space is going to get exhausted, and it began the efforts in the area of IPv6. And when those particular efforts started, they had two options. One, to basically increase the number of bits in the IPv4 address space. That is something like 124.10.10 could have been extended by a few more bits and made 124.10.10.10.10.1 or something similar, wherein basically the aspect of address space exhaustion would have been addressed. Or the other aspect is to make use of the broad concepts still in the IP version 4, but to create a new protocol with enhanced features. Now, which one did they choose and why is a question I think which has been answered. They obviously chose the second option, because when IP version 4 was created, or the TCP/IP was created, it was never assumed that the internet would one day be used for voice over IP, for video, for e-commerce transaction. The security would be a very key enabler for the internet. So all these features were an add-on on top of TCP/IP, and as we progressed up ahead, we realized that the internet was requesting more and more functionality and features. So in light of the same, when the IETF had an opportunity, or the participants in the IETF had an opportunity, they basically recreated our IPv6 from the ground up, wherein many of the application layer features like the mobility, the security, the quality of service, and others, which impact many of the applications that we use today, they try to bring many of those features into the network layer or into the IP layer, and that's how we have the IP version 6. So let's just quickly look up at the various features of IP version 6. We have that the IPv6 extended the address range of IP version 4. IP version 4 has a 32-bit address range, whereas IPv6 has a 128-bit address range. And yes, how does it benefit us? With 128 bits, the size of the address space is 320 trillion, which is a very large address space. And typically it is said that you can address every grain of sand on Earth. But broadly speaking, yes, it enables the age of Internet of Things. Then the second feature is auto configuration. And typically we would have scenarios like emergencies, natural disasters, or military scenarios where you need to set up a network very quickly, and it's over here that the auto configuration feature is useful, because typically if you have to set up a network, you would need a network admin or a sysadmin to get the network up and running. But in the case of IP version 6, you can have a self-configuring network being brought up by just switching all on the computers and the routers together, and they would connect with each other to set up a network. The next one is basically the security feature. Currently in IP version 4, security is more of an application which runs on top of the TCP/IP. But in the case of IP version 6, the security has been built into the Internet Protocol layer. That's the IPsec has been mandated and built into the Internet Protocol layer. Mobility, in the case of IP version 4, we have that true mobility is not possible, in the sense that whenever a user roams, his IP address also changes. But in the case of IP version 6, whenever a user moves or roams, his address can remain the same. So this true mobility feature can result in better user services, because we can do a direct diagnostics onto a device, or we can basically understand the usage pattern and behavior of a user or a set of users. The quality of service features also have improved in IPv6. Various features like the jumbogram, the path MTU, and others, they have resulted in better quality of internet services, and that would help in provide a seamless experience for the customers or for the users of internet in general. The IP multicast, in this one we have a better multicast system or support in place, and this would result in better internet media services. Now, basically, as we would have understood, the aspect of the fact that IPv6, yes, it was recreated from the scratch. It also helped uh, in basically introducing a few new set of features which sort of serve the needs of the internet today and also for tomorrow. We also would almost see the fact that as application layer features have now been moved to the internet layer, IPv6 literally impacts every component of the IT environment, right from network to applications, everything end to end. And we have that as an organization. If someone was to adopt IPv6, it would almost have its every layer of the IT environment being impacted and being changed. Now, as organizations realize the significant impact of IPv6, would they? I think everyone has a kind of a resistance to change, and that to such a significant change. But can an organization avoid IPv6? The answer is no, because we are dependent on internet, and as the IPv4 address space has got exhausted, you don't have an option but to work to adopt IPv6 and basically ensure your business continuity and your business across the internet being continued to serve. As much as IPv6 opens up opportunities in the area of adoption or equivalence to IPv4, it also basically leads us to the creation of smart applications, wherein we have smart homes, smart grids for power systems, smart buildings, smart homes, and smart utilities. So all these features and capabilities also come into the picture, and we would basically be benefited by tapping into these particular set of opportunities. IPv6 leads us to basically building up an IPv6 enabled organization, and also the aspect to be, as you would have seen, is that one cannot avoid IPv6, which means that every organization that's impacted by IPv6 would impact, or every organization that's connected to information technology would be impacted by IPv6, and this includes every small or large organization, be it enterprise or internet service provider or application service provider or government organizations, OEMs, everyone. Everyone kind of gets impacted because of the IPv6, and all of them would need to act on this and work to ensure that their IT infrastructure is IPv6 compliant, and also that they can use it as an opportunity to adopt new solutions and new applications. Well, most of the organizations have been waiting for IPv6 adoption till the last minute, and as given the fact that everyone has tried to wait till the last minute, the scenario would be that most of the organization will try to get started on IPv6 simultaneously. This would result in a situation where there would be a kind of a kind of a melee when everyone tries to adopt IPv6 at the same time. Let's look up at the aspects of IPv6 adoption that an organization should consider. In the area of network, yes, they would need to change the hardware, change OS, change configuration. In the area of IT servers, they would need to upgrade their servers, upgrade the operating system. In the case of applications, they would need to recode the proprietary applications and change or upgrade their commercial applications. In the case of security, they will need to redraw the IPv6 security architectures and implement them. But broadly speaking, each IPv6 impacts every layer of the IT environment, and this requires that as individuals work in organizations to adopt IPv6, because of the fact that IPv6 and IPv4, the coefficient of correlation in terms of commonality is very less, they would need to reskill themselves or rebuild their capabilities to adopt IPv6. And these skills will not only be across networking, but networking, security, IT servers, and applications, all the areas. IPv6, as to summarize basically the aspects of IPv6, yes, IPv6 is different. IETF, when they ensured that they built something different for the needs of today and tomorrow. And because of the fact that IPv6 is completely different, organizations would need to ensure that all the current staff and also any of the staff that they would hire in the future would need to be skilled in IPv6. So these skills would be spread across networking, security, applications, and system administration. So broadly speaking, organizations are working to build skills in the area of IPv6 and looking forward to skilled resources in the area of IPv6. And with some of the reports from the IPv6 forum mentioned that globally there are 20 million engineers who need to be reskilled in IPv6. So there's a large need in general across the industry. Many of the government tenders have mentioned that IPv6 forum certified engineers are a requirement. So in light of the same, we would look forward to basically the industry adopting IPv6 through these skilled resources. As industry needs skilled resources, I think they also need basically some kind of certification mechanism or some kind of measuring mechanism for the skills of individuals. And that's why we have the IPv6 Forum Certified Engineers program, wherein people attend various courses and take up the IPv6 Forum Certification exam. So we have across the networking area, IPv6 Forum Certified Silver Engineer, Silver Network Engineer, and Gold Network Engineer. Across security, the IPv6 Forum Certified Security Engineer, and across system administration, IPv6 Forum Certified System Administrator. Broadly speaking, we have all these opportunities, and we would look forward to working up with basically the student community, the colleges, and others to ensure that their skills are built in these particular areas and that they are able to make themselves skilled and capable for the job opportunities that are opening up across the industry. Various job opportunities that open up in the IPv6 area are global in nature, and that's the reason for that being that IPv6 is first happening across Asia and India, and this as the IPv6 adoption wave progresses towards the rest of the world, we would have job opportunities being opened up, and the IPv6 Forum certification being a global certification will help organizations to tap into those global opportunities. And currently, yes, there is a shortage of engineers who are IPv6 forum certified, and I think we would have the skills of the resource. We would, one who takes up this particular certifications would have the skills and be able to make themselves acceptable as resources in organizations. As one looks forward to build up a career in this particular area of IPv6, the various paths that one can consider are that of being a beginner, a professional, or a specialist. At the beginner level, this is more for individuals who have never configured a router or a switch physically. You need to conduct the network fundamentals course, and someone who's basically already a CCNA or similar qualifications, we can have them taking up the course for IPv6 adoption across an enterprise. Along with it, we could have them take the IPv6 Forum Certified Silver Network Engineer exam, and similarly, they can take the IPv6 Service Provider course and take up the IPv6 Forum Certified Gold Network Engineer exam. Once they basically have acquired professional level skills, the students can look forward to adopt specialist skills, and that is through IPv6 Forum Certified Security Engineer and the System Administrator exams. So broadly, the certifications will help organizations to build skills and make themselves eligible for all the job opportunities that are coming up in the area of IPv6. All the students who complete these particular courses, most of the certification, all those who pass the certification exams, will be given opportunities in the area of internships. These internships would be with the industry organizations or even with Metrobyte, and also basically we would have the various students being provided interviews across the industry, so they can look up at taking up the careers in their area of choice. Now the next question would be, why is it that you should consider Metrobyte for your IPv6 training needs? Well, we are a team of highly skilled individuals, and we will look forward to you to take benefit of our leading IPv6 programs and build your careers in this area and jumpstart yourself to the next level. And continuing about Metrobyte, so we are an organization who is into IPv6 training, consulting, security, and optimization. And so we help organizations in an end-to-end perspective in the areas of IPv6 and security. And we look forward to engaging with you and working with you further on these opportunities. Thank you for attending this webinar, and feel free to basically shoot us an email or ask us a question anytime, and we'll work to support you. Thank you.